Well, I had so sleep last night. Wind came up. I went to bed, and it was cold, not below zero, but with the wind and my underquilt, a little cold. A lot of flapping, readjusting the tarp and things like that. I'm okay this morning. I have a lot more food than I need, though. I'm not eating much. I'm trying to, but it's very tough to consume when, I don't know, if you're tired or thirsty. I need to get to the water supply another mile and a half. I have maybe a third of a liter left. And Kirby's rocking on up above me. I gotta go my own pace, so we'll see how it goes. See the work the trail maintenance crew does here. Kind of leading the water off the trail. It's a bit of work. Seen a few of those already. Little nameplate here for an aircraft that crashed. So the road lead out of here. And our thrift water fill up. It was nice to have something to drink after being very frugal with the water. Stop at our first shelter. It's a novelty at this point, Black Gap Shelter. There's a sign there for a privy. And down that way. So day hikers.
Cut the edge off the toes.
Nice little sights. Oh, we finally made it. Congratulations. I did it. The first part blazed. I guess we'll fill in the put our name in the book and move on. Scenery from the top of Springer Mountain. Well, we're at the top of Springer Mountain, putting our names and stuff in the trail guides that they have up here. And I'm already feeling beaten. We've gone 4 miles from our campsite and probably go at least 4, maybe a little bit more if we're going through a shelter. It's just nice to finally be at the start. Now, if I fail on the trail, not before the trail. Anyway, good in spirit, but weak in body. And thirsty, all the time thirsty. Anyway, talk to you later. There goes Kirby. Just cut up to a stream. She was cooling her feet off in a nice babbling brook here and putting on some tape on her feet underneath the few marks or few points that were feeling warm from the long descent we've been having from the Springer Mountain. We still have another 1.5 miles to go before we hit bottom, and then it's about, I don't know, 3 more miles until the shelter, but there's a big climb to go through. And it's steeper up than it was coming down. Coming down is rather gentle, very pleasant. So a little bit of work to go through yet. See how long it takes when we get there. 2:35 now. I'm sure it'll be probably close to 5:30, 6 o'clock by the time I roll in there. Just a thanks to Sybil for giving me her merino wool buff. I'm sure my hair has already begun to look funny, so now nobody can see it. And let's see, last night, the wind came up really hard right after the sun went down. Like very obviously it was a meteorological type of event, and it was very cold. I had some trouble sleeping. I have to put a little padding underneath me. I mean, it wasn't even 0, so it could be a lot worse. And it was mostly because the wind was blowing so much. I think it was kind of making my underquilt tough to keep warm. Maybe some reflectix that I have I can put underneath my bottom. With the puffy jacket on, upper body, lower parts are kind of already in the top quilt, so they weren't so bad. And I wasn't wearing my merino wool long john, so that might have also helped make me be a little warmer. Let's see, we're supposed to have rain in probably about 3 days. It's supposed to be 30% light rain. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully I'll be a lot better at setting up my hammock and tearing it down and getting everything to fit in, because that food bag got too much food. Cannot eat a lot of the food. I don't know, it's just having trouble feeling hunger, and I needed to add water to my mouth just to eat a roll-up today with peanut butter in it. It was just so dry, and I'm chewing and chewing, and then I had to add a little water just to get it to move around. Didn't have the oatmeal, still haven't kicked on the stove to heat up anything. I've had some cheese and a lower bar over the couple breaks I've had at lunchtime and now. And I think I have some chocolate bars I pulled out from my food bag that I intended to eat along the way, so maybe I'll grab one of those and start nibbling on it before heading up to the uphill. It is a bit of a uphill. Anyway, talk to you later. Well, we're here at Hawk Mountain Shelter. It is about 8 miles beyond Springer Mountain, but we also walked probably 4+ miles to get to Springer Mountain. So it was a long day, and I was pretty tired, and I pulled in here a little bit around 6 o'clock, or before that, just barely. Set up my hammock, threw out the tarp, had to change trees at one point. Hopefully I won't have the same problem as last night. The cold wind that came in right after the sun went down made my bottom cold, so I'll be using my foot pad, and if I remember to keep it out, my Reflectix food warmer bag, and use them under my hip and thigh, using my puffy jacket to kind of pad in different places. Seemed to take care of that. My feet weren't really cold. But once you get to the Smoky Mountains, it may be a very different story. It's supposed to be definitely colder there, and a little bit worried. Don't know what to do about that. Whether or not to get a tent and go to the ground and use my top and underquilt to keep me warm, or to try the hammock. But not getting any sleep is a problem if the weather's too cold, and if it's raining, and if I could have a real problem, I think. Anyway, I'm still with Kirby at this spot, but if she's going any further than the next 8 miles to the next shelter, wherever that might be, I might be saying goodbye to her, because I really don't want to have to do much more than that at this point. I'm just not physically prepared, and I want a little more time to set up and pick a spot and relax a bit, kind of check my feet. I haven't really checked them. I haven't felt any problems. I just had a spaghetti and meat sauce Mountain House meal, and that's the first real meal I've had since I've been on the trail, and I feel a lot better having eaten it. The fact they have a privy here means I can go take a poop in the privy and not in the woods like I did last night. And met a new guy. Don't know his name, just across from me there, from Edmonton. And we were talking about tents and weight and that. I think he was carrying closer to 50 pounds, but he's a much bigger tent than my Hubba Hubba. And I know we all, I think, pack too much food. I certainly have more than enough. Anyway, the next time I eat anything, I will be eating the next biggest thing in my bag, so I can get the bag set. If I have to put my down jacket inside my pack with the food bag, I don't know if it's going to fit. And so I might end up having to put the food bag on the outside of the pack, which is fine. It's a waterproof bag, and the food is all in Ziplocs and, factory sealed. So it doesn't, I think, matter at all if that bag gets wet. Other than that, I saw a lot of dogs today. People doing day hikes. A couple of people actually bringing dogs on the trail. And what can I say? Nothing else, I guess. Check in with you tomorrow.